Well, hello everybody once again, and welcome to the show this week. And as always, I am your host, David Burrows, and happy Monday. Happy Monday. I love Mondays. I get to do my shows and talk to some great people. I know I say it every week, but it's true. And we got, of course, some great guests for you this week. A little bit different format this week, just because of the holidays. Hard to catch up with some people, but we were able to do that. And it'll be a quick show this week, I think. Getting ready for some holidays myself. Are you ready for the holidays? Ho, ho, ho. I never understood why there's always last minute shopping. Do you know why? Because Christmas comes the same day every year. Just kind of like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, but we always seem to be rushing around last minute to get the shopping done, right? I only got to buy for a couple people. So I really just enjoy, the food. I got the food. I have to be very careful. Yeah, you can have too much. I think most of us eat too much at Christmas time, right? But enjoy yourselves. Be safe, of course. There's lots of cups of cheers going on out there, a little more than usual. And Sarnia Police Services are out in full force with their ride programs. So just a reminder to be safe out there and enjoy some time with friends and family. And just get around people you like, right? Have some fun. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you celebrate it. Enjoy it. Well, the Sarnia Sting have been enjoying some time. I'll tell you, this past week was pretty good for them, at least at the home games. It was very good for them. They played London. The Battle of the 402 is always an exciting time with the Sarnia Sting, and they did come out on top against the London Knights. It was a very close game, went to overtime, and then a shootout that ended them up winning. Final score of 5-4. Hugo Lavinius with the shootout winning goal. But I have to tell you, and I don't have a clip of it, but your TV Sarnia will likely have clips of it if you go to their Facebook page. He comes up, he's got the puck, loses control of the puck, regains control of the puck at the last second, and still puts it in. Hugo Lavinius now, I think he's about 21 or 22 goals for this season. So good for Hugo Lavinius. We did get a chance to catch up and talk with Derian Hatcher after the game. He talked to us a little bit about Jamison Reese and a few of the other players, and a new goalie with the Sarnia Sting as well. So we're going to go to that interview right now. Take a look at this.
Here post-game with Derian Hatcher, I thought it was a good game territorially. I thought you guys had the advantage against them, and a little back and forth, and you guys get your first shootout win.
Yeah, no, it's nice. You know, after the game we were talking, we felt we deserved to win that game, and we did. You know, that's not always the way it works, and it goes both ways, but I felt we played a pretty good game overall. I thought first period was definitely our sloppiest period, and I thought we got better from there.
Go back to last weekend, you guys get 4 out of the 6 points out of that one. The Teddy Bear toss game, maybe not the best effort, but you guys bounced back. You got 3 games before the break here. How important was this one to kind of set up the last 3 games?
Well, that's what we talked about. You know, we actually gave them a little more time off than we normally do. We felt they were pretty wore down last weekend. You know, and that's what we talked about, getting this first one, setting it up for the Friday night game here.
A little bit short-handed this week with some of the guys being gone. You have to tell anything to your guys about that one, not take it for granted?
Well, no, I mean it's like that throughout the league. You know, soon we'll be short-handed coming up here. You know, it's not fun for any team, but it's a part of the league, and you know, and I guess sometimes players do tend to let their guards down, but I think we've been burned by that once or twice this year, and you know, hopefully we've learned our lesson.
Jamison Reese has a goal and an assist today. Talk about his play since coming back from the injury.
Well, you know, I think I think Jamison, the first 3 games he came back, he was fantastic. I thought last weekend he wasn't very good, and I thought tonight he was in between there. You know, he's a young kid still, and he has a lot to improve on. But you know, overall, I'd say we're happy with him since he's been back.
Came through the wire late in the game. You guys made a trade. Cameron Lamour coming over from Saginaw. Touch on that. Maybe I know he was hurt. I'm not sure what his status is, if he's back playing yet or not.
Yeah, no, he's back. He's not playing, but he is back. You know, I'm under the impression he'll be here tomorrow. I really haven't talked to Nick a whole lot about it. So, but I'm under the impression he'll be here tomorrow, and it's, you know, it's a younger guy. It's, you know, hopefully a change of scenery for him will be good, and you know, we'll go from there.
Speaking of goaltending, Ethan Langevin putting in another good performance here. Talk about his play as of late.
Yeah, you know what? He was up and down, I thought, for most of the year, and I think this last 4 or 5 games he's really put in good performances for us. And to be honest with you, we're really happy with him right now.
All right, thanks, Coach Derian Hatcher, talking to us there about the performance of Ethan Langevin, and of course Cameron Lemuer now joining the team, and a nice win there against the London Knights, the Battle of the 402, a great way to finish off that battle. And then they would continue on coming up on Friday. The Sarnia Sting took on the Erie Otters. This was a big, huge win, a final score there of 10-4. It seemed a couple of times, well, that maybe the Erie Otters were going to be coming back there, but there were a lot of dominance by the Sarnia Sting and a game well played. So congratulations to them for the 2 home game wins. But then they would go away, and interestingly enough, Cameron Lemuer, who came from the Saginaw Spirit, would play in between the pipes for the Sarnia Sting as they played the Saginaw Spirit. But unfortunately, the pendulum swung the other way on this one as the Sting came up very short at a final score there of 7-3. But still some nice games and still some nice opportunities coming up. We'll be coming back up here on December the 28th as the Sarnia Sting will host the Owen Sound Attack. And we'll be there, of course, with all the home game coverage as well, talking to you about the players and post-game coverage as well. And thanks to my friend Jay Peckham and Jake Chersky, who join me every week, or every Sting home game, I should say, to talk about what's happening with the Sarnia Sting. So thanks to them. Puck drop for that starts at 7 o'clock. You're going to want to be there and have some support for our Sarnia Sting. Got to support the local, right? So come on out and enjoy that. Again, Owen Sound Attack taking on the Sarnia Sting on Friday, December the 28th. So, of course, the Sarnia Sting players, coaching, and staff enjoying some time for the holidays as well, and some much-earned time. Yeah, much-earned time. We're live. What can I say? Except there you go. All right. Also with some hockey, we were invited to go down to hang out with some of the folks from the Sarnia Legionnaires as they took on St. Mary's. Turned out to be a good game there. And one of the reasons I was there was because St. Clair Child and Youth was having their face-off for mental health. If you recall, last week we had Liz Page from St. Clair Child and Youth. Face-off for mental health pretty much says what it is. They're out in the hockey leagues putting support for mental health around. Well, there's a lot of young players out there, and they've got things that they've got to deal with. And some of the coaches have to deal with the players as well. And that's kind of how it all began, as a local coach went to St. Clair Child and Youth and said, I've got a player that's struggling, and I'm a coach. I don't know how to handle this. And now this is the second year for Face Off for mental health. They also had their annual Woolly Toss, which throw the mittens and scarves out on there. They even, there's Liz Page and some folks from St. Clair Child and Youth with the puck drop that happened there as well. And they even had a toque for me. Thank you very much. I don't wear toques very well. I just don't, but I wore it for that because for the right reason. And I've got my, I got my Face Off for mental health pin there. I don't know if you can see that as well. So thanks to St. Clair Child and Youth for all they do. Just a reminder too, they do have a walk-in clinic down at St. Clair Child and Youth. And you can go online, find them on Facebook and online, St. Clair Child and Youth Services. So thanks, St. Clair Child and Youth Services, for what you do for our community. New Year's Eve is coming up, and I was talking with Mike Beauchamp from the Gypsy Flats, and he said, hey, did you know we're having a New Year's Eve bash down at Lizard's Bar and Grill? They're excited. It's only $20 for tickets for this, a live entertainment with the Gypsy Flats. They will go on stage at 9:30, and, of course, there'll be toast champagne and party favors at midnight, and the kitchen's going to stay open late as well. So get your tickets for that. Just go down to Lizards and get them. Or if you go onto the Gypsy Flats Facebook page, if you want tickets, you can message them there, and they will make sure. I'm not sure I still don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm not really working anywhere. I just, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have to get down to Lizards. But you can get out there and enjoy some fun. Gypsy Flats, that might be I think that just might be the one. I really love their music. Haven't seen them in a while, so might have to check that out. And then coming up into January, I've talked about this before, our friends from Dress to Kill having a Mardi Gras party in March March the 2nd. Yes, I know I'm talking way ahead here, but you're going to want to get these tickets. Now, let me see if I got them right here. Yes, I do. I've got tickets right there. Yeah. I'm going to look at them sealed and everything. Keel Simmons gave me those to give away. So, and I'll be attending that as well. Thanks, Keel, for that. So keep watching the Facebook page for your chance to win on that. And there's their new album, right? It's beautiful. This Old Train. That's a CD. I've also got vinyl album that'll be given away as well. And I was given a gift from Keel Simmons with a vinyl album as well. And I'm not opening it for a long time. But This Old Train is a fantastic album that they've put out, and the Mardi Gras party is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to happen out at the Silver Dome out in Courtright, so hope you can make it out there for that. Thanks, Q. There's just a bit of an example of what is I guess that's the album cover. We don't get the album art anymore, but this is beautiful album art. So again, thanks to Keel Simmons for that. All right, do you get outside much? Do you like birds? What about wildlife and all that sort of stuff? I know I don't get outside doing that kind of thing as much as I probably should. Some good exercise and fresh air is always good for the soul, so they say. Our friend Mike Kent from Lambton Wildlife is going to join us and talk about a special event that they just finished up, but then they're going to be doing one for the kids, bird counting. Any idea what this is? Well, we're going to talk to you about it right now. So take a look at this interview with our friend Mike Kent. Right over.
Sounds good.
And I think I'm not quite ready, but stand by. This is what happens when we do live. Here we go. Here it comes, Mike Kent. All right, well, as I mentioned this week on the show, outdoor. Do we do it enough? I know I probably don't get outside enough, but there's a lot of opportunity here in Sarnia, Lambton, and surrounding area to get outside. And our friend Mike Kent, who is joining us here today. It's been a while, but it's nice to have you back, Mike.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm always following the show, so it's cool to be back.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, you're a busy guy. I know we're doing this interview. You just came off of finishing something up today, right?
Yeah, we just did. It's related to what we're going to be talking about today, but I did a Chirstmas Bird Count today for the Kettle Point Pinery Chirstmas Bird Count.
Right.
So that was I got up at 4 a.m. for that.
You're a trooper, so to speak.
Yeah, classic. We had to get up early for the owls,
Well, I got to tell you, so I'm not much of a wildlife kind of guy. So when you say bird count to me, you just go out and count birds, or like what is that all about?
Well, I would say you're half right. I mean, this is about counting birds on a particular day. So they do a bird count, and we're literally trying to see as many different types, right. and also every bird we see we count, like literally, like okay, there's a giant big flock of birds and we'll do an estimate, or okay, chickadee 1 2 3 4 5 at this spot, 5 at this spot, 3 at this spot.
Oh, okay.
So we count everything, but it gives us a cool representation, a cool snapshot in time. And yeah, the other half of it is the enthusiasm with birders. So these are people that are usually doing birding the rest of the year, know particular areas or know their birds very well.
Right.
And it's kind of a community aspect. We all have designated areas. We're driving around. There's a bit of competitive kind of aspect to it. And usually there's like dinner or coffee or some sort of treats to entice people at the end.
I'm there. Free food, I'm in.
Yeah.
There's really quite, and I do have a couple of friends who are bird lovers, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, I had a paperback book that before we had the internet, right? It talked about the different types of birds, and we really have a lot of different types around this area, don't we?
Yeah, I got a couple. I think one of these books,
Oh, nice.
People have on their coffee table sometimes, which has all the birds in it. So, as far as the types of birds that we have here, we're pretty lucky in the spot we're at in Sarnia to be in a great geographic location for bird migration in the spring and fall, but also with the Great Lakes there. We've got Carolinian forest, we've got prairie, and we've also got kind of some of the warmer seasons. Like I've heard a little bit further north of us has got a little bit of snow. So yeah, we've got a unique geography that gives us a lot of different a different diversity of birds.
Yeah.
So some of those birds, I mean, it can range from owls to eagles to gulls and sparrows, finches. Yeah.
I know my wife's from Forest, so we often drive out there, and we'll be out on one of the highways, the rural, I call it the rural highway. And you'll see these great big wingspan birds just out of nowhere just show up, and then you see the little finches. I saw a cardinal not too long ago. And
cardinals are a big one. Right now, London, Ontario is trying to be the capital of Ontario for cardinals because they have counted the most cardinals at their Christmas bird counts.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what our top bird is for Lambton County. The tufted titmouse is a cool one, and bald eagles and things like that are always cool to see.
So it sounds like there's a little bit of competition between cities and other groups as well. Is that right?
Between birders in general, like
Right.
the competition is fierce. There are all different types of birders, but it's really cool to see people that are local that are I've met that are really big birders that are going that are big listers that go for a big year. So it kind of plays off that movie, The Big Year.
Right.
There's people in Ontario that do that are really great birders. So it gets really competitive. In some situations, it can get like almost dangerous if birders like will block a road looking at like an owl or something like that. So it can get dangerous, and I don't know. There's probably some scuffles and fights between birders too.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll try to keep the peace between them.
You can't take them lightly. No.
What's your, you've had a lot of experience, beyond birds. I know you've traveled quite a bit. What's probably one of the most amazing birds that you've been able to observe yourself?
Me and my the fellow I was birding with today for the Kettle Point Bird Count, we were talking about this today, and it's really hard to name. Obviously, rare birds come to mind. There's the storm stork in Borneo that there's a little over. There's like between 200 and 500 breeding pairs of them in the world. So I've seen one of those, but seeing things like it tends to be more of like a wildlife spectacle, like the scarlet ibis in Trinidad is a bird that isn't super rare per se, but seeing it in pictures and seeing it in real life was just, it was one of those things that you just had to see. It pictures don't capture how bright red that bird is. So it was like, to see that many of them, that was like a spectacle. So it's hard to say, but those two birds were really cool.
Right on. Somebody wants to get started in this kind of adventure, I guess you could say. Like I have you need binoculars. Like I have a small pair of binoculars that have been sitting around in a bag for I don't know how many years. I have no purpose really for them. But is that where you just start, and where do you go?
You can start in different ways. So some people, with binoculars, I've got these around my neck. You tend to need a little bit different style of binoculars. So binoculars for looking at like ships or boats, like nautical ones,
Right.
aren't as good. Smaller ones can work, but they won't be as good as some other ones, which is great. Like with Lambton Wildlife and our Young Naturalist Club, we've got for any birding event. Binoculars from Vortex Canada, and sponsored by Nova that are available to use and test.
Right.
But there's other ways. I mean, you can have a simple thing as a bird feeder in your backyard, or have some native plants that attract birds closer to your view, and they'll gradually, you'll find that birds will be, they can fly away, but if you're around in your backyard, you'll get closer views of them if you have things to attract them.
Right.
Native plants are the best way to do it, and if you don't have native plants, you basically won't have the bugs to, like, little caterpillars and cooler insects to attract those birds. So that is a great way to get into birding, I think. With young people, I mean, our ears are great. We listen to things. We can hear things that other people can't, like literally high-pitched noises that birds make. Older people have harder trouble hearing.
I'm sorry, what? I couldn't resist.
Too high. So, yeah, they can get out and they can listen to birds, and listening to birds is one of the best ways to couple that with viewing them and getting and enriching your experience with that.
Like I had, in our living room, we have 2 windows that they're fairly decent size. And we have a bush in front of each one of them. And a blue jay landed on the top of the bush. And I just happened to be watching television, and I looked and I'm like, there's a blue jay. And of course I tried to grab my phone and take a picture. By the time I found my phone, he was gone, but I captured that. I was like, but why would a blue jay be sitting or come that close to my house and on top of that bush?
Right. So blue jays are some of our, I guess, a little more common urban birds. They like to visit bird feeders. So they may be going through backyards, looking for different items for food. I've seen them in my backyard. So they're a very neat, colorful bird that really is, for some people, has unfortunately become just a blue jay, when really it is a spectacular bird that is really adaptable to urban environments. So it can be found a little bit in our backyards.
Well, they're a tough bird, aren't they? Like, they're kind of a mean bird?
They're smart. They're in the corvid family, so they're related to crows. Okay. So they're I would say they're tough too, but they're adaptable and smart. They're very intelligent birds. And they're not as specialized, so they can survive on different types of food, and they don't want one thing as much.
My mother always liked to talk about the red-winged blackbird.
Oh, yeah. It is the bird you first hear for me and some other people, like, in spring. They'll come back in spring, and you hear all the males with their bright red patches saying, like, "Konkari, konkari." So,
my mother does that song too.
They can get pretty testy and aggressive in times. I know in some areas, joggers that run by, red-winged blackbirds will dive bomb people. So, it's a fun bird that they line the highways and line some of our wetlands, and they're very loud and raucous.
Well, Mike, I know you got a special event coming up for kids now. I believe it's December the 29th, right? Talk about that.
Yeah, December the 29th from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. We've got a Chirstmas Bird Count for kids. Okay. So that is like a Chirstmas Bird Count, but funner. So when we do this for kids, we're going to be counting birds and all that. But first, we're going to get kids set up with some binoculars for the day. We're going to go through a binocular boot camp. So we're going to go through all the parts of binoculars, how to use it. We're going to have some bird silhouettes and things for the kids to focus on, get a feel for the equipment, the equipment they're going to use. And then we're going to split up into teams. Oops. we'll split up into teams, and then we'll take different areas of Canatara Park. So we've got cool sections like Tarzan Land, Canatara Park Beach, Lake Chippewa, and we'll have different expert leaders for the hike. So we've got birders from the University of Guelph, Brandon Edwards, Amy Virostek, and Sean Jeniskins, who's one of our young naturalist graduates from the club who has gone all over the world, places like China, worked at, I believe, Long Point and Rondo, and he's studied birds, and he will be one of the leaders as well. We've also got Ann Goulden, who's a local expert in birds, and one of my assistants who really helps out with the bird events. So when we divide up into groups and teams, we'll have all our binoculars, we'll have our guides. We've got some easy guides with some birds on there.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be real fun for the kids, a great experience, and they're going to be amazed at how many different types of birds and how many they actually see in one day. And then we've got a little surprise warm reward for them, some warm beverages for them. And then we tally up the results with the experts as well.
That sounds like the one I want to go to.
Yeah, exactly. And this is all, although it's for fun, all this data goes to scientific experts. So we're going to submit this data to eBird. And so that'll be an awesome chance for the kids to be citizen scientists and contribute to our local area and bring more attention to the Huron Shore Flyway, which is kind of a big migration route and a big stopover area for a lot of our birds.
That's fantastic. Well, Mike, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I think this is really important. What is happening here in our community, and I want to have you guys back more because I think not enough people know about this, and I'm hoping that I can get. I've got it on my calendar, December 29th. I'm going to try my best to. Maybe I'll come along for the fun as well. If you allow big kids, that is.
Yeah, we'll be releasing 2019 schedule events very soon. So if I don't see you out there, I'll bug you out to one of our next events.
Yeah, fantastic. Mike Kent, thanks so much for joining me, and have a great event.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
You're welcome. Mike Kent, everybody, and now we're going to continue on for the next part of the show. All right. Well, thank you to our friend Mike Kent for joining us there. We did that interview a little bit earlier this week. But it sounds like a lot of fun, right? Bird counting and just getting out and enjoying some nature, Mother Nature. And as Mike said, we really live in a great area for this type of thing. And the big kids can go too. I think they're going to, as he said, they've got some things coming up already planned for next year. They do send me, they've put me on a list, so they're going to start sending me all these events. So I'll be sure to put them out there and let all you folks know when those events are coming up. But if you got the young kids, just find them on Facebook. They're there, Lambton Wildlife, and get signed up. Get the kids signed up for the Bird Count Day on December the 29th that is happening at Canatara Park. Thanks so much, Mike Kent, for joining me here from Lambton Wildlife. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon. All right. Are you a gamer? Do you do any of that kind of stuff? What about virtual reality? Are you into anything like that? Well, it's District Beta, and they are doing virtual reality, and they are doing retro, and they're doing a whole bunch of things. And they've got a new location because they've grown. I've been out there with my son a couple of times, and it's really a lot of fun. Travis Kelly, the owner of District Beta, caught up with us, is going to give us a bit of a virtual tour, and we're going to bring that interview up in just a moment. Stay with us. Talking about virtual reality, it's not just video games anymore. All right, well, we get talking about virtual reality. It's not just video games anymore, like back in my day when there was just a couple of dots on the screen. Things have really come a long way. And District Beta is tapped into this virtual reality market, and our friend Travis Kelly is joining us here from the District Beta location. How you doing, Travis?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You had a busy day today. You've had some birthday parties and stuff going on out there.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff going on. Getting lots of birthday parties nowadays, getting lots of Christmas parties for different hockey teams, corporate parties, all sorts of different things.
Yeah, and you've already grown since you started like just over a year ago. Now you're out on London Line still, but you've moved into the front half of the building there, and you've got a District Beta Barcade, I guess, right?
Yeah, so last time I was on here last year, we were just opening the virtual reality side of things, but now we're expanded. We got more like arcade bar kind of thing going on. We're about 4 times the size we were. And we got lots more to offer. Don't worry, we still got all the VR stuff. We got all that. We've grown that section, but no, we got loads of different stuff here. We got a whole retro area. We got a little bit of everything and a full bar. So
well, there's two things there that I like. There's the beverages are available. And the retro side, because like I said, I'm a way back. Pong was my thing, but I know Max Major and I were out there. We were playing and I guess this is retro now too, is Mario Kart.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun, even though he kicked my butt at it. But you've really covered all ages out there.
Yeah, no, we got definitely trying to have a little bit of something for everybody. So we got the whole VR area, which everyone loves that, but then we've got all the retro consoles for the people that are a little bit older. They get the nostalgic feeling on that. But then now we even have some arcade cabinets as well. Yeah. So we got the original arcade cabinets, got some racing simulators from there. We got Winding Heat, which is a big, good old racing simulator. Yeah. And then we also made sure that we got stuff for people that don't like video games. We got some pool table, air hockey, foosball, all that kind of stuff. So there's options.
Yeah, it's great that you've really become eclectic in all the gaming area, from, like you say, the pool table to the virtual reality and everything in between. I will say, though, I have a suggestion, and I'm sure you've probably thought of it. Maybe you're looking, but if you find the Atari 2600 somewhere and get like Pitfall, Harry, and Jumpman and Frogger and all that stuff, like, I might become a regular.
All right, we'll have to look into that just for you.
How did all this get started for you? I mean, this is a business venture for you. You're a young fella. Taking some risks early in life, which is fantastic. But what made you decide I want to do this virtual reality thing?
So we started off with the virtual reality thing. It was just I was just finishing college, so I went through for computer programming. Really liked computers, really liked video games, and I had my business partners. They're the owners of ValleyX. They really know entertainment here in Sarnia. So we kind of put those two together. We saw something that was working really well in bigger cities with VR arcades. There wasn't anything this side of Toronto at the time that we opened that. So we saw how it was going there. Figured we'd give it a shot in Sarnia, see if we can scale it to Sarnia size. Because we know that big cities, they need a lot more. So we were scaling it to Sarnia size, and that's where we started off in the back half of the building. So in the back half of the building, we were about 1,200 square feet, and we were just strictly virtual reality. We had loads of sorry, I just got a notification hiding that. We had loads of people wanting more from us. So we knew that we had the VR covered. That was kind of just like a test run to see how it would go, see how Sarnia responded. Sarnia responded very, very well. Yeah. So we figured, go big. We had loads of people even like the first opening weekend of the last place a year ago, first thing people wanted was alcohol. Everyone wants to drink. And then the next thing that started coming, people were just like, oh, it'd be cool if we had some retro games for our waiting area, all that kind of stuff. So it was just it snowballed as we were just starting the VR, and then it was a whole lot of feedback from the public, everyone that was coming in and enjoying the VR, just having the different suggestions of what they think that we should have added on. So we just listened to the people, and now here we are. We got a little bit of everything.
Well, great that you listened to the feedback, because that's what, you find here, listen for the need and then fill the need, and then that usually brings on a lot of success, and it seems to have done that for you. And I got to say kudos to you, because the location you're in, there's been a lot of different things there over the years. And there's always been the I come back from the entertainment background as well. So there was always that conversation of, oh, you can't get anything to work out there because it's way out there. And I always said, no, you just got to handle it right. And I mean, good for you. You've taken on that location, and even the Valley Axits out there, they took on that location and made it work. Filled a need, build it, they will come kind of thing.
Yeah, we're kind of working on, we want to bring this building back to what it was in its heyday back when like the Blue Water Fun Park used to be here. Yeah. So like all in one building. We got like a one-stop shop. There's us, there's Valley Axe, there's Highway Bowl, we got the bowling alley here, we got laser tag, we got rock climbing, we got a little bit of everything. You just got to pull up, park, and find the door you want to go into. You can spend the whole day here.
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of what we're working on.
You mentioned Highway Bowl. I noticed when I was out there the other day, you guys are kind of sharing parking lots now. Like there's been a barrier's been removed. So is that suggesting that you guys are working together?
Yeah. So we're working, like, we're good friends. Jeff there, he's a great guy. He's been very supportive and helpful of us with this new business. And yeah, we're working together. We don't have any bad feelings, anything there. We want to make sure this whole building can be successful and everyone works out here. That's one building being successful helps all the other businesses here.
Yeah, that's right. Collaboration, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I know I was out there, and my boy Jason and I, we're probably going to be regulars already anyway. I know he is. But can you give us a little bit of a tour there? Show off your district beta.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to switch this around. I'll give you guys I'll show you around. So we'll start over here. This is where our virtual reality section is here. So we got the virtual. And how many booths are there? So we have 5 VR booths. So there's 4 down in this lower area, and then we have the one over there to the right.
Okay.
That is the 5th one. But so down here, we got all the VR. We got 4 stations. We upgrade much larger TVs. So when you're sitting down here, you can be sitting on the couches down here.
Nice.
And there's big 43-inch TVs above every booth, so you can see exactly what the person in the booth is seeing.
Right.
One other improvement that we made in our virtual reality section from the old place is we got rid of the booths. So we used to have almost like cubicle feeling.
Right.
Where now it's much more open. The booths are actually larger. So before they were 8 foot by 8 foot, now they're about 9 foot by 9 foot. So they're actually larger, but there's no physical wall in between. You can just see on the ground there where the mats are kind of separate. That's what separates the play area. Then we do have a big curtain here. That's kind of separated. So we got 2 on this side and then 2 over here. This curtain here kind of separates it, so you have a little more privacy, but it's a lot more overall social feeling. But again, we do have the nice big couches, so you can sit back, relax. We got the big TVs up on the wall and mounted nice and high, so you can watch over your friends' heads, see what they're seeing, so you can watch them while you're going. But then we do have the 5th one over here. It is kind of separated, but we want to make sure that this is more available for like walk-ins. So if you just want to come in, try it out, you want to make a reservation, that's what this one's kind of separated for. We're not taking too many reservations for that. But we do also have like the big corporate parties. They want the whole place, so they get the whole place.
Nice, of course.
But yeah, and the next thing going from the VR we have is our like game table area. So we got air hockey here, we got we got pool over there, and we got foosball over there in the end. These are all just coin ops, so you can just show up. You don't need any reservation.
Right.
You can just play them. All that. They're all free to play. Whoever's up there and wants to play them can. So we got the air hockey, pool here. Got all that. We just got this pool table all refinished, re-leveled, all new felt, all new bumpers, all that.
Nice.
And then we got foosball here.
Foosball. I was never any good at that.
This has been a big hit so far. I didn't realize how competitive Sarnia was when it comes to foosball.
Yeah.
And then moving on into our retro section here. So we got them all set up. We got loads of different retro consoles, retro games. We got a little bit of everything. So starting back here, we got some
those big old
I think that's
TVs.
Yeah, the big old CRT TVs. It's authentic here. We couldn't go with that new LCD stuff.
Awesome.
It doesn't feel the same. So you got like N64 along these 2 stations here. So you got those, got you covered on those. And then we're getting into more of this is PlayStation here. So we got some kids were playing NHL on this earlier, but we got the Guitar Hero, all that kind of stuff. And then over here, we're going down to the GameCube. So we got the GameCube and Wii set up here. And then we're getting more into the classics here. So we got the NES, Duck Hunt set up on this TV. And then we got the SNES over here. We got, we're going into all the different retro stuff. And then moving along, over on this wall here, this is our arcade section. So we got 5 different standalone arcade machines. They're multi-cades that load up with a bunch of different games.
I know there was they have like everything on there. Like you put your money in and you can just pick your game from Donkey Kong to there's Donkey Kong running there.
Yeah, we got Donkey Kong in the middle
Pac-Man
one there. We got this one set up. So we got the trackball there for Golden Tee.
Yeah.
We got this one set up specifically with a 4-way joystick in the middle, just strictly for those games that you only want to go 4 ways, like the Pac-Man, the Donkey Kongs. You don't want any of the 8-way stuff. And the last thing in our tour is the most important part, depending on who you're talking to. we got the bar over here. So we got a little bit of everything. We're starting to stock up a little bit more. We've been here for a couple of weeks. We got a full beer fridge. We got beer, wine, we got liquor, got a little bit of everything. And then it's coming in the new year, we're going to start doing some more, we're going to do video game themed cocktails. So you can expect our menu to grow there. That's the main tour. I'll switch it around back to me.
Now I'm guessing too, and it's just to be clear, like even though there is a bar out there, it's still available to all ages to come out as long as they're like with mom or dad kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one question that we got a lot of feedback on was like, oh, if there's a liquor license, then no kids are allowed. But we're the same rules as like Swiss Chalet. Swiss Chalet serves alcohol, and there's still kids allowed there.
That's
It's
right.
like you can bring your kids, just as long as you don't share your alcohol with your kid.
That's right. Oh, we
Sorry,
lost you there for a
second.
minute.
Yep,
Oh, there you are.
there
You're
we
back. That's
go.
cool. Yeah. So no, I wanted to make sure we put that out there because I think a lot of people just go, "Oh, you can't take kids there." You can take kids to pretty well any location. It's all the same license, right? But yeah, you just can't have alcohol. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the main thing. Like we've had loads of kids' birthdays. We probably had like 50, 60 kids in here today alone.
Yeah.
So
What about
yeah,
food?
kids are definitely still welcome. So we don't have our own kitchen at this point, but we're all for outside food. We have the liquor license. We have our chip racks, so that's the kind of food that we can supply. But we're all for if you want to bring outside food. We've had
Some
Domino's
pizza
make
or
loads of
whatever.
trips out here. Yeah, so pizza, absolutely. And then the bowling alley right next door, they do have a menu. If you're here, you want to get something from them, you can call your order over, then go pick it up when it's ready.
Yeah,
So
that's
another
awesome.
way that we're working with them. Yeah.
So do you have? So obviously you're a gamer. Do you have
Yeah.
favorite types of games that you like to play?
So basically everything here is my favorite. That's kind of how this was tailored. So a lot of we actually do in the collection have some of my old games from when I was growing up, but I do have like my favorite games on the like the old cabinets, and I have my favorite retro games, and I got my favorite VR games. So we definitely got a wide variety here. I'm not like a one-trick pony. I definitely find something on everything.
All right. Now you haven't had a grand opening yet. You're which I think is smart. I think some people go, let's have the grand opening the first day, which I think is a mistake. I think you have a soft open, you figure some things out, you get the gremlins and the bugs out of whatever you got to figure out, and then later is there plans coming up for that?
Yeah, we're gonna do a big grand opening weekend sometime in January. I think probably the second week of January. We're gonna do a whole weekend long event. We're gonna host. We're gonna have open house. You can come in, check it out. We're gonna host tournaments all weekend long. So we're gonna have virtual reality tournaments. We're gonna have retro console tournaments. We're gonna have tournaments on the old arcade cabinets as well. So we're gonna have a whole weekend long event. You can expect that coming in the next. We're just kind of planning it right now, but it'll be the second week of January. We're gonna get that all figured out. We're just working out the bugs for now.
We'll have to put the date down so we don't miss that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Perfect. Well, Travis, thanks so much for the virtual. I thought it was appropriate to get a virtual tour of the virtual reality going on out there, and looking forward to. It's something new and cool too, right? Like I say, my son's into it, and I have fun with it too. Even if his friends were over there, I could be over with us old guys playing Donkey Kong or whatever, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot of fun, and it's worth the drive out there. So. Anything you want to just let people know about that we might have forgotten before I wrap up with you?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything. Just come on, check it out sometime, bring some friends. There's definitely something for everybody. So don't feel like you have to be into just one thing to come out here. We'll definitely find something for you, and it's ever growing as well. So where we are right now, this is just kind of our starting point. We're only going to get more and more arcade cabinets, retro consoles, VR, a little bit of everything.
I think it's so cool. Is there you got a website?
Yeah, if you just go to districtbeta.ca, you can see all of our stuff on there. We got everything's covered there. You can book online if you want to come in for VR, or you can just take a look, see what's up, ask any questions you have. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Travis Kelly from District Beta. They're out there on London Line, right beside Highway Bowl there, or the old Blue Water Fun Park. Depends what your age is. You'll know what I'm talking about. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to go back in the studio, wrap things up. All right, well, fantastic. Travis Kelly joining us there from, a virtual tour, very appropriate for District Beta to give us a virtual tour out there. I've spent some time out there, like I say, this pool table, air hockey, which is great. That's probably the only game I can beat my son Jason at is air hockey. But all the retro stuff, we were playing Mario Kart there, like I said, Duck Hunt, and you got Donkey Kong, those big consoles. They have all in one, like 80 different games in one. And I think I saw Max Major out there. He was playing some old NHL hockey. Max and I like to play the Mario Kart. he beats me pretty badly, but we still have a good time with that. So get out there, check them out, District Beta. Go online to districtbeta.ca to get all the information. You can reserve your virtual reality booths out there as well. And you can also go to districtbeta.ca, but you find them on Facebook as well, and you can reserve out there as well. And as he said, there are beverages available out there. They are licensed, but kids are still allowed to go. And it's kind of like the bowling alley days, right? They served alcohol, but kids could go. And so don't be afraid to take the kids out there and have some fun. And I know I'm going to be out there. It's trouble. I'm going to be a regular out there. Travis Kelly from District Beta. Once again, thanks so much for joining us here. Really appreciate it. Well, we've had a lot of fun talking with everybody, all our guests here today. And I want to say thank you once again to Mike Kent from Lambton Wildlife, who joined us here. And, of course, now our friend Travis Kelly from District Beta, who just joined us. And that'll be it. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And I will talk to you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.